Hello and welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with the Chemlock League, and the Outlaws are kind of on a win streak here. We won the last two games on our schedule. Big win against the Dirt Dogs, and we also took a win against the Maulers, who are currently ahead of us in the standings. And we will be coming out for our third game against the Marauders this year. We ended up sweeping them at Whacker's Wheel earlier this year in games 4 and 5 of the season. Edgar Lang actually pitched his first debut game for the Outlaws in game 4, winning that one 7-2. He didn't get the decision there, but he will be back out again on the mound, this time against the Marauders. And this time we're facing off against their number two starter, Ellie Acosta. I don't know why it lined up this way, but we have not yet gotten a chance to see Ellie Acosta. She has had a great year so far. She does have Tier 2 K Collector and Crossed Up, but she is currently 2-0 with a .59 ERA and a .98 WHIP. So she is in a good place, and she's going to try and keep her momentum going against us. But luckily, we're in a position where we have a juiced Edgar Lang going out on the mound, yet to get a decision, but a 1.08 ERA and a 1.20 WHIP. He is doing really well this year, and we're hoping that that continues. I did make a decision based on the last episode and thinking through it a little bit more. I do want to bring in both Raphael Yuppers and Lily Dubs, but I'm going to wait a little bit. This signing of Yuppers I plan to do after this game is over. I want to see his asking price go down just a little bit more. But also, I don't believe we're going to necessarily need Yuppers in this one. I know Acosta is pitching really well, but I feel like our offense has a lot of momentum after the last game, and I'm hoping that continues here. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. I already set the lineup and everything, so we're already ready to go. We're going to have Sorelli leading off for us in right field, as he has been doing. We're going to have Dalton Babshishin in center field and in the 2 spot, followed by on fire Rock Quintana at second base in the 3 hole. Giovanni Mays will stay at catcher. Actually, fun fact, Giovanni Mays and Rock Quintana have hit home runs in both of the games that we played against the Marauders already this year. So we'll see if they can both make that 3 games against the Marauders that we have them hitting a home run. Continuing on, Jerry Love will be in the 5 spot in the DH, as he has usually been this entire year. Glass Snyder will get the start at third in the 6 hole, followed by Justice Quintana at first in the 7 spot. Fernanda Branch at short in the 8 hole, and then Musty Donovan coming off a 1-for-2 day with a walk. He will get the start in left once again. Might be his last start for the Outlaws, as we do plan to replace him with Raphael Yuppers, assuming all things go according to plan after this game ends. We're going to have Edgar Lang on the mound. Again, he is juiced. He's in a good place to hopefully put up a really nice performance, and we are going to be at home. I opted for our custom alternate uniform for this one, so let's head out to the Tiger Den and see what we can do against the Marauders. Their team does not look... It's a little all over the place. Their star player, Skylar Rocket, is currently rattled, and so we'll see if that plays a factor, but also Bamber, there with those sweet mutton chops, is currently on fire. So we'll see how this all plays out. Starting off with Musty Acevedo, whose tense contact versus righty at tier 2 is activated here. He's batting 200 on the year, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, so has not done much, and we'll see if Edgar Lang can keep this offense at bay. Once again, he is juiced, so he is ready to go. Hopefully he can keep himself in good place. Fernanda Branch with a nice diving play, and the cannon arm activates, which was necessary to get the out there, and that's a nice play to start this game. And Dipper Bellotto comes out. He's currently locked in, having himself a decent season, or at least a good stretch right now, batting 278 overall, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, so not a lot of pop in the bat, but as we know I am capable of doing. I don't know why Sorelli didn't dive for that one, but it goes foul. I love to jinx our team, so we'll see what happens today. Full count here for Bellotto. And that ball goes right back up the middle for a base hit. So 1-out hit for Bellotto, and that brings us to the on-fire Geronimo Bamber. Really great power, solid contact, okay speed, all playing up right now. He's batting .429 with 11 RBIs and swings at the first pitch but pulls it foul. It ricochets off the concrete there. 1-1 count here. Edgar Lang finding himself in a bit of a situation already with a runner on and their hottest hitter batting. Pitch out here, checking on the runner over there at first with good speed. Giovanni Mays does not have the best arm in the world, but Edgar Lang placing that pitch perfectly in the bottom corner of the zone. And that was enough to call for strike 3. So that's out number 2. And Havoc Sandman comes up. He's tense, 171 on the year. RBI Hero and Ace Exterminator are available, but neither are activated. And he gets a weak fly out off the end of the bat to Musty Donovan in left field for out number 3. So a 1-out single, runner stranded at first base, and now the offense getting an opportunity to take advantage of a quiet top of the half of the first inning. Braden Sorelli comes up facing off against a very formidable Ellie Acosta with that first pitch in the zone, and the second pitch tempting enough to swing at, and it's a grounder to second base for out number 1. 4-3 in the scorebook. Dalton Babshishin has been very, very inconsistent this year. Quite the up and down year for him, as he has found himself with a couple of good games and quite a few poor games as well. And he's already down 0-2 with K Collector activated and hits that one past the diving first baseman into right field. Timber Pickles scoops it up, tosses it in, and it's a single with 1 out, kind of mirroring what the Marauders already did. And now here comes an on-fire Rock Quintana. So we're hoping we get a better result from Rock than the Marauders did with Bamber. But cross-up activates there, and Babshishin is able to advance to second base. So that Tier 2 crossed up does play a factor in this one, and now a runner in scoring position for Rock, who fights that one off, and he's down 0-2. K-Collector activated and hits that ball, but it's high and off the end of the bat, and it's going to hang up in center field for Skylar Rocket. Not much of an arm there, and especially worse when he's rattled, and Babshishin is able to advance to third on the tag up there. So runner in scoring position 90 feet away for Giovanni Mays, and hoping to get something across the board here in the first inning. That would be really helpful for us. They call that a strike on the inside part of the plate. Ball low. A cross up would be really amazing here. That ball gets in. We don't have to worry about it as Giovanni Mays comes up huge with a single, an RBI single for Mays, and it is a 1-0 ball game for the Outlaws here in the first inning. Now, Acosta has not given up many runs at all this year, so to get one across in the first inning is huge. That brings her ERA from below 1 up to 1.13, and a back-to-back singles for the Outlaws. Put us in an interesting position here, as we just saw Jerry Love just got a little bit of a mojo boost, and now Glass Snyder comes up. Very, very disappointing production from Glass Snyder, and hoping that we can turn things around. And of course, first pitch swinging, grounds out to second base, but 1 run does come across, and we definitely made Costa work, which is not something she's accustomed to so far. So this offense has done their job. Edgar Lang did his job in the first, and we'll see if he can keep that going against Yannick Burr, who's .458. So he has been getting on base quite a lot. And that is not going to change here unless, Braden Sorelli catching that one right above his waist as he was able to haul that one in. I didn't think he was going to get to it at first. So Timber Pickles coming up, betting .095 on the year, so having a really rough time, and it's not going to change here as Fernanda Branch tosses it over to Cologne for out number 2. So not only is Edgar Lang juiced, but now he is locked in for Chirp Wallace, batting .233. And Edgar Lang is looking very, very good right now on the mound. Although he goes down 2-0 here and makes a mistake pitch there. And that ball is bouncing off the top of the very, very weird crossbar there at the bullpen fencing. And that ends up being just a very hard and loud and long single for Chirp Wallace. But that is the second base runner that Edgar Lang has allowed, and it brings his mojo back down to neutral. Skylar Lang gets that ball into center field. Babshishin could not reach it fast enough, and they, if they would have thrown it straight to second base, they might have gotten Skylar Lang there. But instead, it is a big double there, bringing him from rattled up to tense, and now 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. And that ball bloops to right field, and it's going to go foul. It bounces right in front of Sorelli there in that little patch of grass. And now a line out to Cologne, catching that for out number 3. So it looked a little tense there for Edgar Lang, but he was able to battle through and get out of it without allowing a run. But 2 runners stranded on second and third for the Marauders. And we flip around. Now Justice Cologne had herself her first home run of her career in the last game that we played, but we still kept her in that 7 spot. Can't remember. I think she's in the 7 spot, and she comes up with a base hit there. But we decided to keep her down in the bottom of the order, as she seems to be producing a little bit more there. I think she might feel a little more comfortable when the attention is not on her. They're going to check on her immediately, so there is the attention. She is tier 3 base rounder. And Fernanda Branch pops that one very high, but into shallow right center field, and Chirp Wallace calls him off. And that's out number 1. So Musty Donovan, who has not been that productive for us, but has not hurt us too much, is going to get an opportunity here. 250, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Swings at the first pitch there, pulls it foul. And they check on the runner once again. Acosta's got that speed on her mind, and that ball, they say, misses the zone, so that's low for a ball. There's a dribbler to the pitcher. Only chance they have is first base, so that's essentially a sacrifice there as the runner advances to second. But now scoring position for Justice Cologne, and Braden Sorelli is going to be locked in here, looking for an opportunity as he dribbles that just fair, and Yannick Burr just scoops it up and steps on first base for out number 3. So what looked like promising inning to get started with Justice Cologne getting the single ends up going very quietly through the rest of the order for another inning, another shutout inning for this game so far. So Edgar Lang has not been as dominant as I thought he would have been, with him being juiced, is doing super well so far through 2+ innings. 3-0 count gets the call there. Acevedo hits that one hard, and they say it was a trap. And we would love to look at the replay, but that does not exist in Super Mega Baseball 4. So they're going to have to go with what the umps called on the field live, and they're saying that was a trap. So that is a single for Acevedo. And now Bellotto grounds very hard to, here we go. Wild throw from Fernanda Branch, and that ball goes in the dirt and past Justice Cologne. Nice play from Cologne, being able to get the runner there at second base on a very hard hit ball to her, and they tried to do the 3-6-3 double play, and it ended up backfiring, and there's a hard hit ball, but it looks like Sorelli retreats, then comes back in, and his great arm activates there, holding the runner at second base. So even though we've had an error that was allowing the runner to advance to second base, we now see Havoc Sandman coming up with RBI Hero activated, and Edgar Lang with another difficult situation he's in, looking to see what he can do to try and avoid a runner coming across the plate here. Havoc, very, very great power hitter, so we have to be careful about where we put those pitches. 2-2, 2 outs, runner at second. And there it is. Nice pitch from Edgar Lang as he gets him to swing right through that. So another inning where Edgar was able to keep the Marauders at bay. We don't know how long that's going to last, but we'll take it for as long as we can. Babshishin, 1 for 1 today with a single, batting .310 now on the season. He's going to see another opportunity to get on base. Makes very good contact, but just late, and that's going to get out of play, foul. That one way ahead, and then he pulls it, foul. So now 1-2, K Collector activates for Ellie. And that ball, they just misses the bag at third base and goes foul. And makes just enough contact there. Good speed, but Bellato has an amazing arm. And that's an easy out there. So 6-3 for out number one. And Rock Quintana, who grounded out his last time up, is now locked in instead of on fire. Still looking for a nice pitch to hit here. 0-2 already. K Collector activates once again. And hits that one just past the second baseman. Chirp Wallace reached for it but couldn't get to it. And Rock Quintana on base with one out. A single for him brings Giovanni Mays, the only one who's been able to hit a runner in. Single RBI, or an RBI single in his last at-bat. The infield goes to double play depth, looking for an opportunity on a ground ball. And Ellie Acosta up to 34 pitches here. And another one just past Chirp Wallace. He's getting frustrated, and Rock Quintana heads all the way to third base, and he's going to get there. So a nice single from Giovanni Mays, his second of the day, puts runners on the corners with one out for Jerry Love, who's locked in. Again, looking for a fastball. There's two from Ellie, the fastball, or the four-seam in the cutter. Takes a strike. That was a fastball. Swings through the change, and now K Collector activates again. The runner goes, and they do a sacrifice bunt here, and they're able to do it. That was a suicide squeeze. Jerry Love puts it down. Runner takes off for second base, and easily scoring is Rock Quintana. So you don't really expect that from Jerry Love, but he comes up and he does what he's supposed to do for the team as he gets the run across. And big moment there is it's now 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Two outs, runner at second base, no speed, and Glass Snyder comes up with a hit as he's able to get that one into center field. And with the tense arm of Skylar Rocket, not only does the runner come across the score from second, but Glass Snyder, paying attention, is able to advance to second. So that's an RBI double for him, and it's now 3-0. And Justice Cologne comes up, who had a single her last time up. Batting .333, swings through that one, and it's 1-1. Pulls it foul, so K Collector activates, but Ellie is tense and tired, so that one's going to go foul, so K Collector doesn't hit as hard as it did before. And she swings through that one, and it goes flying as that was crossed up and almost reaches first base as Justice Cologne. She swung at a very, very bad pitch, but she ends up getting out on drop third strike there, and it ends up being a pretty solid inning for the Outlaws as they put two across on an RBI single from, what was it, Giovanni Mays? No, it was a suicide squeeze from Jerry Love, and then the RBI double from Glass Snyder to put us at 3-0 Outlaws over the Marauders here in the top of the fourth. And Edgar Lang still cruising, strikes out the I think the still tense Skylar Rocket, if I'm not mistaken. And now Timber Pickles comes up. Neutral mojo. And 091 batting average here, has not done much at all. But he hits that one hard to right center field, and that one hits off the top of the wall. Sorelli scoops it up very quickly, almost gets the runner at second base. It was a bang-bang play, and they say he was safe. Nice response from Braden Sorelli as he was able to get that one in very quickly, but good speed from Timber as he's able to get on second base with one out. And now Chirp Wallace comes up, and that's going to be an easy single into right field. Sorelli comes up throwing, and they cut it off, but runners at first and third. Here's Skylar Rocket. Did not strike out earlier, but he's 1 for 1 with a double. He came in rattled. He's back to tense. Now we'll see if he gets a pitch he can hit. That was a high pitch that he took for a strike. There's a low ball outside. Great speed on the base paths for the Marauders. This is a big opportunity for them. And that ball gets over to Quintana to, oh my goodness, Fernanda gets the out at second, they say, but she bumbled another one, and she is having a very tough time. I'd almost love to see Pavla Kirk come in here, but a runner comes across. Honestly, I don't know if that counts as an error, but it should have been an easy double play and they pull Edgar Lang, and they bring in Jacoby Maddox. The runner goes Giovanni Mays, dead to rights, as that was an amazing throw from Mays, but I think that was a failed hit and run. Maybe the batter missed a sign, but a runner does come across to score on the error from Fernanda Branch. I don't know if they counted that as an error. It was just missed the box score there, but she is having a tough game as she already made a wild throw, and then she dropped that one on what would have easily been a double play to end the inning without the Marauders scoring. And she strikes out here, so she might be due for a day off, as she just absolutely looks awful today. I don't know if something happened at home, but just seems very distracted. She seems unfocused, and it's very unfortunate to watch. But, ooh, bean ball, Musty Donovan toughing it out. He got beamed in the butt. So he reaches first base there, and Ellie Acosta, I don't know if that was intentional or if that was just a loss of accuracy. I know cross-up happens, but that seems a little more interesting. Pickles cuts that off before it's able to get to the wall, and Musty Donovan was able to stretch that around it from second to third. But a single from Sorelli here with one out and runners on the corners. Dalton Babshishin looking to extend the lead for the Outlaws. Checking on the runner over at first. Gets back in time. Stealing second base and safe. They say you got under the tag. Nice arm from the catcher, but and there's cross up, but it's not able to get it far enough away. But runners now at second and third with one out, and Babshishin really trying to find an opportunity to drive a ball here. 3-1 count. So he's in a hitter's count, and he fouls that one off. So full. K Collector activates here. One out. Takes ball four. So Babshishin takes the walk. So we had a strikeout followed by a beanball, followed by a single and a steal, and then a walk. And now Rock Quintana, our hottest hitter, will come up, but has to face off against Elias Stubbs, who had an amazing outing her first time against the Outlaws, and then struggled a little bit more in the second game. She comes into this one and immediately gives up the base hit to Rock Quintana. Two runners are going to score, and they're trying to get... Oh, wow, nice stretch from Babshishin as he was able to get to third on that one. Very close play, but they opted to cut it off for some reason, because there might have been a play at third if they let that ball go through. But one out, now runners on first and third. Rock Quintana with a huge one out, two-run single with the bases loaded. Now Giovanni Mays comes up 2 for 2 today, and he pulls that one foul, 2-2, and K Collector activates for Elias Stubbs. And she makes a mistake, but he pulls it foul just ahead of that one. And another mistake as that one phases through the runner there at third base. And that ball stays low, so full count with one out. And stays inside, ball 4, and Giovanni Mays gets a mojo boost on that walk, and bases are loaded once again, this time for Jerry Love, and I think the infield's going to have to be drawn in once again, as they are, and that ended up leading to the base hit for Rock Quintana in this situation last time. Jerry Love hits hard, but it's going to hang up, and Rocket catches that. Rock Quintana going to third, and they say he's safe, and a runner comes across on the sacrifice fly from Jerry Love. And this offense is continuing to keep it going. Elias Stubbs tense now. Cannot close it out. And there it is. An outside pitch from Glass Snyder, and I believe that's his first home run of the season. Glass Snyder says, "I'll be your Huckleberry." As this offense, his second home run of the year, his 7th RBI, a big 3-run homer for Glass Snyder, and it has been a close game for a couple innings here, but now the Outlaws are starting to pull away. And now Ace Exterminator, Tier 2, activates for Justice Cologne as she hits that one hard, but it tails foul. 9-1 Outlaws here in the bottom of the 4th. Justice Cologne against K Collector, and she makes just enough contact, but it dribbles foul. 0-2. Takes ball 1. Normally she swings at that, so she's seeing the ball a little bit better. I say that, and then she takes a pitch that drops right into the zone. So an opportunity for her to kind of capitalize on a struggling pitcher, but she strikes out instead, and this has just been kind of the case for Justice Cologne all year. She has a one good hit followed by two bad at bats, and that was the case here. And that ball is gonna get just foul. Oh my goodness, Breckin Hatmore almost makes Jacoby Maddox pay for a very big mistake pitch, and it's 1-2 count here. Maddox trying to put him away, but keeps making contact as Hatmore. Another foul there, 1-2 count once again. And another one there with K Collector activated for Maddox. Almost gets him to chase as a check for ball two. And there it is. He puts it on the corner. Hatmore is not happy about it. But Jacoby Maddox is absolutely pumped. And Musty Acevedo comes up 1 for 2 with a single. He's still tense. The left fielder looking to try and get his mojo back on track. And he pops that one foul, so it's a 1-1 count here with one out. Pops that one foul too, and it's now K Collector activation time for Jacoby. Just misses the zone there and takes strike three, so another frozen batter. Jacoby Maddox is just locked in right now. And Dipper Bellotto comes up 1 for 2 with a single himself. He's locked in as well, so this is going to be a challenge. That ball just gets down the third baseline fair. Musty Donovan scoops it up and holds the runner to a single, but I don't know what Glass Snyder was doing, but he put very low effort in trying to get to that one. I think he's still thinking about that home run he hit in the previous half inning. And now Geronimo Bamber, who's on fire, gets a chance here. And that's a dribbler to second, Rock Quintana to Cologne. Bamber goes from on fire down to locked in on that ground out, and it's another quiet inning for the Marauders. So Fernanda Branch, who led off the last inning with a strikeout, 0 for 2 today, looking to see if she can kind of get her mojo back on track, see if she can join the hit parade. And she hits that one hard, but pulls it way foul, way ahead of it. Elias Stubbs still on the mound. Got the strikeout against Cologne, but she's still tense. And Branch, 2-2 count here. K Collector activates once again. And she chases that, and it's strike three once again. She has to walk back to the dugout after another awful at-bat. And now Musty Donovan, who's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch, so he was able to reach base safely once again today. Looking to see if he can do the same. Power versus lefties activated, but it's literally, I think, a 5-point increase there. 1-2 count. K Collector activates. Stubbs still tense, and it doesn't matter as she was able to get the pitch there that she wanted, and he chased it for out number 2. Braden Sorelli 1 for 3, kind of a quiet day for him. Normally he is doing much more than that. Autumn Riley comes in tense. Full stamina bar for her, but she's looking to see if she can put out one of the hottest hitters in the league, Sorelli, who gets tough out activated here. 1-2 count, and just gets underneath that one, and it's pulled foul, but it's going to stay in play, and easy catch for Bamber over there by that little patch of grass in left field, foul side, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Outlaws. Here come the Marauders. Havoc Sandman, one of the best hitters on the team, has not been showing it. This offense is way better than they've been producing. It's like if you put Justice Cologne on this Marauders team, she's easily the best hitter on the team from current this year production, which is pretty much a shame. 3-0 count, gets a strike, and then that ball hit to center field. It's carrying right up against the wall is Babshishin, hauling it away for out number 1, or hauling it in for out number 1. Yannick Burrow for 2, one of the better hitters on their team, 423. And there's why. He's just been able to barrel up the ball all year, and that ball into the batter's eye, that shrubbery out there in center field. And that's a solo shot. 429 for Yannick Burr, his second home run of the year, and it is a 9-2 ball game. So it is late. It's a big gap for them to catch up on, but we're not going to say it's over until that last out. So with one out in the top of the 6th, the Marauders get a solo shot from Yannick Burr. Now Timber Pickles comes up. Got a base hit his last time out and pulls that one foul. So 1-2 count. Maddox is locked in here with K Collector and gets the strikeout. They say the call was the ball landed into the zone and caught that for out number 2. So now Chirp Wallace, the last hope for the Marauders, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it back, takes ball 1 low. Swings at that nasty curveball from Jacoby Maddox for strike 2. And with K Collector activated, Maddox gets the dribbler back to the mound for out number 3. And the Marauders get swept this season by the Outlaws. The Outlaws offense right now is firing on all cylinders as we put up 9 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. Honestly, I believe that should have been 2 errors for the Outlaws, as Fernando Branch had 2 mistakes that could have cost. That actually cost that first run of the first run of the Marauders in the 4th inning. That was due to an error by Fernando Branch, and I don't know if they called that an error. So anyway, we'll take a look, and really the only offense for the Marauders was that home run from Yannick Burr. They say that Skylar Rocket got an RBI as well, and I believe that was on the I believe that was the error, if I'm not mistaken. It should have been a double play, but instead Fernando Branch dropped a ball at second base, got the out at second, but a runner scored. That should have been the end of the inning. For the Outlaws, offense coming from all over the place. Zarelli had a quiet day, 1 for 4, but still got a run across. Babshishin 1 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Rock Quintana did not get a home run, but it did go 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs, so still producing for this lineup. Giovanni Mays, 2 for 2 with a walk, with an RBI, with 2 runs scored. Jerry Love, 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. He had a nice suicide squeeze to score a run earlier in this one when the game was much closer than it ended up being. Glass Snyder, really happy to see his production today. 2 for 3, runs scored, home run, 4 RBIs. I think he had a 3-run shot earlier in the game. Justice Colon, 2 strikeouts there. Fernando Branch struck out twice. Musty Donovan struck out once, but he also reached base on a beanball and ended up scoring a run there as well. So pitching-wise, Ellie Acosta, who had been accustomed to pitching very well, we ended up getting to her as her ERA went from 0.89 up to 2.89. So big turnaround for her. Elias Stubbs couldn't really hold the offense at bay, but Autumn Riley came in, get the 1 out that she needed, and that was all that she was able to do. For the Outlaws, Edgar Lang should not even have that earned run, as it should have counted as an error instead. He goes 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts. Again, he does not get credit for the win. I believe you have to go 4 innings, I guess, to be able to get the decision. Jacoby Maddox ends up getting the win, 2 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, allowed the 1 home run in the 6th inning, and he gets his 2nd win of the year. 2.19 ERA, and Edgar Lang with his 1.5 ERA. Pretty amazing. Stars of the game, Glass Snyder, number 1, Giovanni Mays, number 2, Rock Quintana, number 3. They think that adds up. Glass Snyder, a home run and a double, having a really great outing this time out. We'll see if that continues or if this was just a little bit of a random opportunity for him. And speaking of Glass Snyder, we now have to decide who's going to get 12 loyalty as cover athlete for Influential Jocks. I guess they already put Rock Quintana on the magazine. Now they're looking for the next one. And I think for this one, I'm going to give it to Giovanni Mays. Glass Snyder is like 36, I think. Giovanni Mays is older too, but he's a guy I think I want to keep on the team. He's been more consistent this year. So part of me wants to reward Glass for his good outing today, but Giovanni Mays has earned it over the year. Plus, I want to make sure he's in the best position to come back next year. Oh, man. So loyalty drop here, a big loyalty drop from either Kenneth Donovan or Ford Richardson. And speaking of the two of these, both pitchers have been very disappointing over the season. I don't know who I'd be more interested in bringing back. Kenneth Donovan really hasn't doesn't have a lot to work with here with that super low accuracy. It makes it really hard to want to have him. He's also more expensive. Ford Richardson, yeah, lead four seam, curveball, changeup. I think I'm gonna take the hit to Kenneth Donovan here. Ford Richardson, I think I'd be more interested in having him back. And another opportunity here for loyalty gain, this time between the Rock Quintana and Jacoby Maddox, my two favorite players on this team, pretty much. And who do I give it to? Rock has been consistent all year. Same with Jacoby Maddox. Jacoby is the core of our pitching staff, but Rock is super young still, 24. Jacoby is 32. Oh, I don't like this at all. I think I'm going to give it to Jacoby just because his loyalty is five lower, so not much, but nope, actually I lied. I'm going to give Rock. I want to make sure he is absolutely coming back this next season. So after this game, let's take a look and see what happened. We have some things that we need to get done. There's a development opportunity for Rock Quintana to make him even better. There's a chance he might lose his secondary position, but I think I'd be okay with that with the team the way that it is. Vincente Moon looking to try and stay on the team is showing that he's putting in a lot of extra effort here as he gets +7 junk, which just helps his cause a little bit more. Development for Pavla Kirk. Could be nice to see her get that contact boost. Some of the players that we're watching are starting to see some changes in their talent level. And Liliana Fowler is one of those. And then we see a chance for Musty Donovan to get first pitch prayer. I don't even think that's a good idea, just from the sole fact of even if we were keeping him on the team, I wouldn't want to do that. But let's see. Rock Quintana, I think we absolutely do this. 10% chance to lose the secondary position is okay with me. He gets +1 power, +3 speed, and then he loses 2 arm and a chance for more power and speed. I think that's worth it. I think that is worth it in my eyes. The arm isn't so substantial at second base. Let's see. No for this one. I already said no to that. Excuse me. No for this one for Donovan. I don't want to pay for him. Chance for Justice to get more power and speed, but lose a base rounder is not interesting to me. Pavlik Kirk, fielding and contact is a good development here, and she is a pretty solid player. I want her offense to get up a little bit more, and then we could potentially just see Fernanda Branch and Pavlik Kirk be the two starters on the left side of the infield and have Glass Snyder get replaced by somebody else. And then no for that one for Musty Donovan. So I think I will do these two. This one for Rock Quintana. See the power boost, the speed boost. We lose the arm. Can we get more power? We do not. Can we get more speed? That's what I'd like to see. Do not get that. And then please don't lose the secondary position. We do not. So not super exciting here, but we'll see that continue to boost his ratings as he gets better. The 24-year-old is just continuing to look better and better every episode that we have. And then Pavlik Kirk getting 2 contact, getting 2 fielding. Chance for more contact, we don't get it. We get more fielding. We don't get that either. And she is going to get the start next time out as Fernanda Branch had a very, very rough game and will need a day off to reset that mojo. But after doing some development, after we saw how the team performed here, I think it's time for us to make a decision. We saw a big drop here in cost from Rafael Yuppers as he drops about $3 million in his asking price. And I know we're overpaying him, but this is for the playoff push that we're about to make as we just won another game. So Rafael Yuppers is going to come in and replace Musty Donovan. This is a huge increase in cost, but I think that having Rafael Yuppers and or Dalton Babshishin in left field is such a big upgrade and lengthens this team so much more than what we're currently looking at. We still have Alfredo Levine as a good defensive option, but even then, it's not like Rafael Yuppers is a bad fielder. He's just got a weaker arm. So I'm okay with this. I'm very, very much okay with this for the big upgrade in offense, which, again, the more we talk about it, this offense is already looking really good. So lengthening this lineup even more is really, really exciting to think about. And we're still at 19 million in surplus after we make this move. So I'm good with this. Musty, we appreciate your efforts. But in this case, I think it's time for us to bring in Rafael Yuppers and see what we can do. And just speaking of chemistry, this keeps us at tier 2 for competitive, and this keeps us at tier 3 for disciplined. So easy move here. We have a ton of disciplined players on this team, but that's fine with us as we cannot be above tier 1 for both spirited and crafty, the yellow and the green. So we have a lot of extra players to work with there. The other player we were thinking about is Lily Dubs. We were either thinking about bringing her in for Muhammad Holmes or Vincent Moon. Vincent Moon has been getting better, and that is intriguing to me. He pitched okay, just stayed out for too long his last time out, and he's only 24, so still some chance for him to get better. Muhammad Holmes, on the other hand, has regressed and will continue to regress as he's 39. Workhorse trait, in my opinion, is only as valuable as the talent of the pitcher. And Muhammad Holmes did okay last time out, but I don't think it's a good idea for us to keep him on the team. I don't think he makes us better. And so I think that this would be a good decision to make. However, Lily Dubs is still 2.2 million over asking, and we don't need to make this move right now as our next game will be with Rory Bowen on the mound as he faces off against Yusuf Roosevelt of the Pythons. Now, that means that we have one more game before we have to make a decision on Lily Dubs, and so I think I'm okay with that. But speaking of some of these other players, Emmy Williamson is somebody that we could consider with that high pitch trait being maxed out would be very intriguing to me. But if we were to go that route, we would have, of course, have to release a player. And looking at the team, I just don't think that there's anybody on this team that I think would be interesting to get rid of. I definitely don't want to get rid of Alfredo Levine as a defender. I think that'll play out really well in the playoffs, assuming we get there. And so I think for me, this is too much of a drop of defense of capabilities just for that. Oh, geez. It is tempting, and it would still keep us in a good place for our. Actually, I don't think it would because Lily. Oh, yeah, it would be. It would be fine. So Emmy is still somebody we could consider. I'm not that excited about it, but we'll keep our eyes out. And then Nick Douglas, because we just released that competitive player in Musty Donovan, we could end up looking at getting Nick Douglas back in here. Nick was a guy that we saw and were interested in when we drafted him, and has better hitting, has better fielding, slightly slower, slightly worse arm, but really it's a better upgrade, and he is 20 years old, so he has so much more development to be able to take advantage of. So Nick Douglas, you're at 0.1 right now. If we bring in Nick Douglas, we cannot bring in Emmy Williamson. She's 25. Nick Douglas. I think Nick Douglas is the better option here. Emmy, intriguing as she is, I don't think she plays well in this in that outfield. Nick Douglas, on the other hand, good fielder for second and short when needed, decent arm, and actually hits okay and has a chance to develop a little bit more. So I think we bring Nick back in replace Sammy Hodges, who has not done anything for us whatsoever. We pay point 0.9 more, and then when we look to replace Muhammad Holmes with Lily Dubs, we should still be fine with our chemistry. Yeah, yeah, we will be fine with our chemistry. So, yeah, I'm okay with this. So, Nick, welcome back, buddy. Nice to see you here once again. Appreciate your patience on the in the free agent pool. I'm also looking at Plover Day here, another C plus pitcher. So he is not very exciting, but if we got to the point where we realize that Vincente Moon is not doing what we need him to do, we really could make this move for Plover. Um, Plover having good junk, but worse accuracy and velocity is a bit of a concern. An elite slider instead of elite cut fastball. It really wouldn't be an upgrade. It would just be a lateral move. But again, just depends on how Vincent Moon pitches. I keep going back and forth between Vincent and Vincente. But this pitching, this rotation is kind of our weak point, and it'd be really nice to see somebody get dropped, just like Rafael Yuppers was dropped, and see if we can find somebody to upgrade this bullpen quite a lot. Or I'm sorry, this pitching staff quite a lot before we reach the end of the year. So speaking of reaching the end of the year, we have 4 games left, 4 times through the rotation, and we have a very critical 2-game set here at home against the Pythons. We lost a very tough game against the Pythons last time out, 6-4 at their stadium. Muhammad Holmes got the loss there, and so we have to figure out, can we compete with the division leader? And speaking of the division, the standings are a lot closer than they were before. We're a game and a half back of the Pythons. We're 7-5 compared to their 9-4. Our +7 run differential helps us out a lot here. And if we take a look at the wild card standings, our team is actually leading the wild card contenders. And it's still a very tight race, but it feels good to know that we're on the top of the league right now. And we really have to compete against these good teams if we want a chance to show everyone what we're capable of doing in the playoffs, right? Quick peek at the current season leaders, and we'll see that Braden is still at 3. Rock Quintana climbing up a little bit more. He's now in the 4 spot. So that's always fun to see. And I think the last thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to set the lineup for the next game. So let's do a quick little suggestion. Of course, we're going to move everybody around. So Jerry Love will never play in the field. He is going to be our DH. Glass Snyder can stay at 3rd for this game. Let's see, Rock Quintana at 2nd, Justice Colon at 1st, Braden Sorelli in right, Dalton Babshishin in center. Do I want to keep Babshishin in center? Yeah, I think so. Patrolling the center field is a lot more range. And then Rafael Yuppers will be in left field, Pavlik Kirk at short, and Alex Hernandez will get the start here against... I think I'm going to do this just because we have Rory Bowen on the mound, and I'm going to rely on him to keep the offense at bay. We lengthen our lineup a little bit more by bringing in Rafael Yuppers. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to have Braden Sorelli lead off, as he always does. We're going to put Yuppers in the 2 spot and see how he does there. We're going to follow that by bringing Rock Quintana into the into the 3 spot. Glass Snyder, I will reward him for his great play in this last game, and he's going to get the 4 spot after a big game from him. Jerry Love will stay in the 5 spot, and everyone gets pushed up. Well, Justice Colon gets pushed down. So Babshishin 6, Pavlik Kirk 7, Justice Colon 8, and then we have Alex Hernandez in the 9 spot. A very weak catcher, but again, young guy, good arm. And yeah, not our favorite option to have behind the plate, but I really want Giovanni Mays to rest up so that he is good for the second game of this 2-game set against the Pythons. And then Rory Bowen, Boy, we hope that he can have a good game, and it would be really amazing if he can get into the fourth inning and see if we can see that stimulated trait activate against the Pythons. The Pythons have a very intense lineup here, starting with Aiden Heaves, who's tense, 19-year-old DH is going to get the start in the leadoff spot, at least according to the lineup as it is right now. Jamari Gates is locked in. JC Buffums is currently on fire. Hornblower is going to get the start in center, and he is currently injured or tired at least. Yuri Herman at second base. What is this? What is this? Chemistry. They're tier 3 for crafty, so that bad ball hitter trait. They're tier 2 for spirited and let's see, spirited, everything. They're tier 2 except for scholarly. They're tier 1 there. And honestly, this lineup doesn't look too intimidating. I say this, noodle arm third baseman, so that'll be really interesting to see if that plays a factor. Good defender at shortstop, not a good hitter, not a good hitter, not that good of a hitter. And if he's starting, that means he doesn't get pitch perfect. He's currently tense and tired. But their other catcher, Jacoby Sorelli. Interesting. Jacoby, are you related to Braden? Braden, let me see. Now, it doesn't look like they're related, so this might just be a coincidence here. But their primary catcher is currently... Oh, this might not be their primary catcher. That's their secondary catcher. He's already he's already strained. He's injury prone as a catcher. That's not good at all. And then we have Yosef Roosevelt on the mound. Yosef, currently neutral mojo, 4 pitches, 1 fastball, and 3 off speed, and he's pretty much above average across the board. He's an A minus, so that means that Justice Cologne will get her Ace Exterminator activated. We'll see how that plays. So, interesting matchup against the Pythons. We have a big moment here for our team as we have to face off against the division leaders in a 2-game set this next time out. So thanks so much for watching. Oh, a quick update on the series. I made a couple of adjustments to my plan for how this entire series is going to play out. You already saw, because I've pre-recorded a lot of these videos, that I've increased the frequency of them dropping. So now they're 2 times a week, or at least that was the plan as I was recording this one, 2 times a week. And the team no longer has 5 years to win a championship. Our challenge is to win a championship within 3 years. And if we manage to do that, we can add 2 years to our time on this team. So if we win a championship, we now go from 3 years to 5 years with this team. If we get to the championship but lose, we will get 1 more year added on because this team has potential and we're going to try and drive that as far as we can. And if we do not win a championship or reach the championship in 3 years, then what I am going to do is I am going to randomly pick one of the other teams in this league. I am going to become the new owner of that new team, and I'm going to do a shuffle draft based on what that team's current chemistry structure is. So you'll see this as we get to that point, but I am excited to see us have to switch around and be a new team owner, but we'll see how that all plays out as we get to that point. So we will have the challenge of we need to win within 3 years, or at least we need to make it to the championship game or championship series within 3 years. So we'll see how that plays out. And if we can keep this momentum going for the Outlaws, we might see it happen this year. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good time. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, or feedback in the comments section below. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, everyone.